Hello and welcome to Friday, and what a Friday it is as well. I have these two absolute retrobates with me. I used to be banned from this podcast because I was the causer of so much trouble. Well, today, what on earth have you two been up to?
Sir?
It actually wasn't just me. Sam started it this week. Well, no, I suppose I started it earlier in the week with my reels from our previous podcast. Then Sam accused the minister of saying something, and then I upset another MHK.
Right, well, let's deal with this one at a time, shall we? Turton, what have you got to say for yourself?
Well, for some reason, I took a sentence which
Can I stop you there? For some reason, you sound like Phyllis off Coronation Street. Why is that, son?
Well, just not feeling well. Well, basically, for some reason, I took the sentence, that new bus strategy sets some changes in play, which means that we will no longer have dedicated school buses, but we will have buses that can be used by the community more generally, to mean that school buses would be axed.
That new bus strategy sets some changes in play, which means that we will no longer have dedicated school buses, but we will have buses that can be used by the community more generally, which means that we will no longer have dedicated school buses, which means that we will no longer have dedicated school buses.
Now, it's hard to understand how I got this so wrong, because it clearly, the minister just said that we will no longer have dedicated school buses.
Which means that we will no longer have dedicated school buses.
Well, that's
which
obvious,
is then
isn't it?
the headline that we ran, which was school buses facing axe. And, apparently that was utter nonsense and incredibly wrong, and I can only apologise to the DOI for getting it so wrong.
So what are we apologising for?
Being right. Or being wrong. Depends how you look at it, really, I guess.
If we are no longer having dedicated school buses, then that service has been axed. What is there not to understand about that? What am I actually missing here?
I really don't know, to be honest. I'm still very intrigued. And we haven't actually had a formal rebuttal from the department, which I assumed would have been coming. So, if they want to explain how getting rid of dedicated bus services isn't axing school buses, then I'm quite happy to see that.
Yeah.
I did actually get a couple of messages of support from other MHKs who agreed.
But it did say, it did say on when you put the article out, it had at the top, community, I forget what the wording was now, the bit about it being axed was further down, so if people actually read the damn article...
Well, the headline was school
then
buses
what's the
facing axe.
problem?
The first line was the DOI plans to drop using buses solely for taking students to and from schools. And this was actually about schools serving older people's complexes. And they got to this somehow. Which actually, I have to congratulate the DOI on, because this is really great news, that they are actually looking at introducing a new bus stop for M.A.S.H Road, which will mean that elderly people living in Hayward Court, not that Hayward, but Hayward Court, will have step-free access, because at the minute they've got to walk all the way up a hill.
Could rename it Haywire Court, after the minister.
Oh, well.
We didn't say it.
I'd like to point out neither me or Charlie had anything to do with June's remarks, nor is he in any way, except for hosting, connected to this podcast.
You've given me the script.
If this was scripted, it'd be a lot less shit.
But what's really quite remarkable about this, Sam, is that we ended up getting called out in Tynwald over it.
Yeah, it's been ages since I've been called out.
What do you mean we?
Collectively.
Well, actually, no, we didn't. Energy FM did.
Energy FM did.
And Energy FM didn't write it.
No. I know we're using their studio, but Manx.news, we're...
we basically got Energy in trouble for providing it with a news story, and I can only apologise to Energy FM profusely.
Sean is furious with you.
I hope so.
The head of news at Energy FM. Yeah. He says that's another fine mess those pair have got me into.
Well, speaking of fine messes, tell you what she did.
Which one?
Yeah. Come on now. You've also been upsetting people. You've upset Sarah Maltby this week, and all her little followers.
I've also upset a few more people than that, but I'm not sure if you've even clocked how many other people I upset.
Well, I've had hundreds of complaints from one or two people.
So you would like me to begin on explaining myself for how I upset Sarah Maltby?
Well, it sounds like there's others, so which one would you like to go for first?
I don't know at the minute. I feel like public enemy number one. But what I will say, throughout all of the insults I've had hurled at me, I've been called much worse.
Usually from Sam and myself.
From not very far away. So basically, on Wednesday, I decided to listen to Tynwald. And it was very, very painful. Thus prompted me to decide to write an opinion piece about the goings-on in Tynwald after hearing some phenomenal one-liners. Laurie Hooper was giving out like there was no tomorrow when he and Claire Christian got into a slight debate.
Yeah, in a previous life, it would have been known as political sketch writing, basically. So a well tried and tested system of reporting on politics. But I thought the Laurie Hooper one that you did was brilliant, because you pointed out that he was asked to withdraw remarks he didn't make.
Yes, and when I was listening to that, I was really enjoying it. I then also got to hear Chris Thomas being the sassiest individual I have ever witnessed in Tynwald. He was brilliant with his comments yesterday. When the speaker was closing one motion and moving to the next, Thomas decides to interrupt him and say, no, I had actually just closed it. And it was like, whoa, where's this come from?
There was that, and there was the one later with the area plan. In fact, I'm going to put that exchange in here.
Calling the honourable member, Mr. Thomas.
Do members of go for lunch late, do they?
Well, Mr. Thomas, you have a significant contribution, I presume? Mm-hmm. You do.
Always.
And Lauder?
I'll take my chances, Ectorine, that I will not stand between honourable members and a timely lunch. And that I'm not, however, going to try and make sure that I filibuster out till 1 o'clock.
In favour and Peel. Miss Lord Brennan.
Me first, wasn't it, Mr. No.
Apologies?
Yes. Was it not me in the next?
No, no, I did have Miss Lord Brennan down on the list. I'll give you an opportunity just before lunch, but I recognise you would have a significant contribution, so I said...
You've been allocated tomorrow. All tomorrow.
So we now call the honourable member, Miss Lord Brennan.
Mr. President, I'm sure you said you take me straight after lunch. I'm sure that's what you said to the Honourable Court.
No, I did not. Please take your seat. Now, for the third time of asking, I call on the honourable member, Miss Lord Brennan. Call on the honourable member, Mr. Thomas. Okay, call on the honourable member, Mr. Glover.
I was bunkered in.
I thought you took me off the list, so I have to go back on again, and I haven't indicated.
One moment, Mr. Glover. Sorry, Mr. Thomas, do you wish to contribute to this debate?
I'll indicate when I want to, please, Mr. President. Sorry, I'll indicate when
Speak
I want
up,
to,
please.
Mr. President.
Yes, is that a yes?
I will indicate when I want to. Yes, please.
Okay. Since I called Mr. Glover, I'll give Mr. Glover the floor.
Good reminder, Ectorine.
Call on the honourable member, Mr. Thomas.
Still haven't indicated, Mr. President. Humble apologies. I'll indicate clearly when I would like to speak.
Can I just clarify? You do not wish to speak?
Mr. President, let's be clear. I would like to speak. I was on the list once. You took me off the list. I will indicate when I want to go back on the list to speak.
Fair enough. Call on the honourable member, Mrs. Kelsey. Call on the honourable member, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you.
Hope it was worth it.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
I think that was just astounding. Like, it's brilliant, this back and forth between the President of Tynwald and Chris Thomas about when Chris Thomas was going to speak. It's genuinely one of my favourite things I've heard all year. Because it was just like... it's like... He basically said, we're not going to speak to you now. We're going to have lunch instead.
What's
Guys,
that?
what are we playing?
There's an ice cream van outside.
Is that an ice cream van?
I thought it was your phone.
No.
Yeah, so they had...
Is there actually an ice cream van?
I'm going to go and... You two carry on. Who wants to be on camera while I go and check out the window? I'm going to go and have a look.
Creepy-ass music for an ice cream van.
I'm really concerned. Is there an ice cream van?
No. No, are we dreaming this?
Sam, is it your phone?
No, my phone's not on.
Okay.
Right, carry
Anyway,
on. They probably couldn't even hear that.
Right, so...
Right, so
Chris
I
Thomas
don't
being
even
a
know where to
sass
begin
queen.
with. We'll go back from where that clip's going in. Right, so as you heard there, they've gone back and forth on this, and it's like, hold on, what? So, Lawrence Skelly basically goes, I'm not going to ask Chris Thomas to speak just before lunch, because I imagine you'll have a lot to say. So, we want to go for lunch, because, you know, the canteen runs out of the good food by 1:30, so they've got to be there for 5:00. So, they go off for lunch, they then come back, and Mr. Skelly invites somebody else to speak. Chris Thomas goes, I thought I was speaking. And he's like, well, I'll come to you. And he's like, are you on the list, don't worry. And he's like, okay. And then he goes, Mr. Thomas, he goes, actually, hold on, now you want me to speak. I was like, he was like, basically, he may as well have gone, I will signal you when I'm ready. I thought it was brilliant.
Well, I really enjoyed that. I also enjoyed Tim Glover only voting on the DHA plan because it wasn't a glossy magazine cover. And I just thought it was, you know, all I was doing was a little bit of political satire. Nothing wrong with that. If you're an elected member, you are fair game. Now...
we're talking about your article here, of course, which is available on Manx.news.
Correct. If you want to complain, not sure who you send it to, but Juan, do you want to answer that one?
Well, I bought David Ashford's shredder off eBay, so if they want to complain, I can utilise that. What's up with you, Sam?
That's a callback.
David will like it. He won't write in to complain.
David will sit there chuckling, taking it in the good humour it was intended.
He's a politician. He knows he's going to get flack. He doesn't go boo-hooing on Facebook, does he?
Well, some of them do. As I found out last night and cemented myself as Douglas South's public enemy. So...
that's one Christmas card you're not getting.
oh yeah, I'm not getting a Christmas card. I'll probably be getting like a bag of dog shit through the post or something.
Again.
But yeah.
Sarah's lovely. She'll probably still send you a Christmas card.
With her newsletter.
Well, Sam. So all I happened to basically say in my opinion piece about Sarah was when she got called upon to talk about the area plan, wasn't it? And I don't think she was expecting to stand up and talk. So there was a bit of a, not a kerfuffle, but a bit of a, about getting up between her and the other members.
Yeah, it happens a lot between all of them.
So whatever, that's fine. And then as she started to talk, I was a bit like, oh, that's not the strong Manx accent I'm used to hearing. That's odd.
On the Honourable Member, Mrs Maltby. Did you have your hand up earlier? Go on.
Where am I, Objector M? Sorry, I thought I was probably one of the last of you to put my hands up. Okay, so Ector M. Well, I fully acknowledge the significant effort that has gone into preparing this plan. I do believe that in its current form it risks locking our island into decades of unsustainable and environmentally damaging development. I have always been a firm believer in prioritising brownfield development over greenfield.
And then as she started to get going, then the Manx accent came out. Then we heard wast instead of west. And I was like, there it is. So I just thought, oh yeah, bit of a laugh there, isn't it? Took her a while to get going. And then, well, I thought it was just all a bit of fun. I thought I've heard her before or seen comments about her ripping, like, you know, the fact that she loves to be Manx and a Manx accent and everything. So I thought, oh, well, you know, it's nothing personal, nothing mean. Well, it was taken in the wrong light.
I think putting it under the words performance of the day may not have been the smartest move. Because it does sound a bit like she's putting it on. But, you know.
Well, all I'm going to say is there were two different accents in that speech.
But it's not really about the accents, it's about the ridiculous reaction to it.
Oh, yeah.
And, may I say, some of the completely cretinous comments from people who had clearly not read your article, which is surprising. When you look down, I think we should name check some of these people. They've gone in public forum to slag you off, Maury. So let's hold them to a task. Some of these people commenting actually hold quite responsible jobs. And what's amazing is they've gone blundering in there on Facebook and they haven't even read the article. They've not bothered to get the nuances of it, and they've not seen that it's satirical.
Well, basically, Sarah then shared it saying, wowzers, I'm not sure what to think about this news report. What do you think? I am actually one of the minority in Tynwald that is actually Manx, and I am proud of it, but I sense I'm being taunted for it here. Honestly, it's wild how some people can form an opinion on my character before actually getting to know me. The suggestion I started my speech with the Queen's English is a bit of a stretch. I wouldn't last 5 minutes at Buckingham Palace. This is how I sound. Promise. It might crank up a notch when I'm nervous, but that's just the Manx in me, and there's no escape from that. I do actually feel embarrassed that my pronunciation of certain words is so exaggerated, but I'm often told that it's nice to actually hear a Manx accent nowadays. I can't win. Well, I think the bit...
I can't win. Oh, come
on.
on.
Can I just hang on a second, Juan? I don't think I attacked her character. I don't know Sarah as a person. In order to be able to do that, I would have to know Sarah and say something about her character.
She's very lovely.
Oh, I don't know her, so I don't have an opinion.
I don't have to say that, or was that now offensive? But no, I mean, it's just been
that
completely
was very
lost about
Partridge.
It was actually. She's very lovely.
I don't know Sarah.
So
I
think the point is, it's it's the reaction to
think
your
so.
piece. Your piece has been snipped, hasn't it?
Yes, it's just been a screenshot of just that bit. And okay, maybe performance of the day wasn't the best move, but equally, equally, I feel like I shouldn't have to defend that. I think the moment that you are in Tynwald, you are ultimately part of a performance, especially in an election year. And I suppose, part of me goes, oh, I'm really sorry if it upset you, but equally, nothing there actually should upset anyone, and it shouldn't. Definitely, I don't think should affect someone who is an elected politician. When there was no harm or nastiness I felt that I'd written, I felt that I was just joining and having a bit of bants on a really boring sitting. But the comments
the
then
nastiness
that followed,
though was the fact that you were snipped out. If you took the whole article, which was a satirical look at Tynwald, it was obvious there was no nastiness or malice in that article. It was a piss take. But to snip out your bit, parade it as news, for then the Facebook mob to come on and round on you, that was where actually the dubious behaviour changes position.
I think that's the bit that kind of disappointed me, if I'm honest. I was called rude, I was called jealous, I was called bitchy.
I apologise.
You got 3 or 4 of those.
Yeah. I was then my actual work as general and how good of a reporter I am was brought into question. And I think the bit that actually disappointed me is that I think you have a certain level of responsibility as a politician to sometimes shut down some of these remarks, especially when you kind of don't know the other person either, because neither of us know each other. I've obviously listened to her in Tynwald and all those things, and you can definitely disagree with someone politically, but that doesn't actually, Sam and I disagree politically. Doesn't mean I think less of him as a person occasionally, but no, I don't. Like on a personal level, we get on very, very well.
Is that correct? Can we corroborate that?
But I think then when that MHK is then responding to these comments and sort of carrying it on a bit, going, yeah, I think, come on now, like, you're a politician, you're on the firing line, I've not said anything that's actually mean, I've just poked fun at something that you yourself have already poked fun at before. So I don't really see what's out of line and why that then justifies trying to ridicule me and my own profession.
I don't know, but just to put a more positive thing on it though, I did see that people commented on on Energy FM's post about it. And what was particularly brilliant was Chris Thomas went along liking some of the comments.
Chris Thomas liked them, yeah. And Laurie Hooper shared it. And I think that's the thing. Yeah. It's very similar to a Young Farmers concert. You go to any of those and if you're a politician, you're fair game. And it's the same sort of thing when it comes to satire posts from media. Was it a news report? No. It was my own opinion of just taking the piss out of them for a day. Equally, they're paid $77,000 a year to be in there. They're a politician. They're public facing. You're going to get ripped. They wouldn't survive the likes of Have I Got News for You?
No,
can you imagine?
Absolutely. But I think what was telling was some of the ones massaging her ego. Oh, isn't this terrible? Of all the serious things in the news, how many items have you guys written over the last... I've not counted them. I've got loads of other things to do than count them. But they're going on about serious subjects. There's a raft list of serious news items that we've reported on that none of those people have bothered to read. Yet you do one satirical item and they lose their shit.
I know, and I think that's...
Grow up!
Since Monday, we've written, and we're recording this on Thursday lunchtime, we've written 80 articles since Monday morning. 80. And actually, normally, we're averaging between, I would say, 14 and 20 articles a day. Would you not, Sam?
Yeah, it varies quite a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, like, we write a lot. And I think that's the other thing. People love to point out if there's a spelling mistake in one article or there's anything like that. And it's like, hang on, there's two of us here.
My mum does that.
Oh, it really annoys me.
She sends me screenshots.
Oh, it's just like...
There is a couple of apostrophes I want to talk to you about.
I've already sorted it.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Right, do you know what? On that, we're being very BBC this week.
Why?
Because the BBC loves to talk about the BBC. So
well,
why
we're
don't we
not talking
actually
about
talk...
the BBC.
Oh, I've got one more thing that I need to clarify as well. I got told to take my head for a wobble.
Who by?
I can't remember their name. No, it sure as hell was not Jamie. And I think the only people that ever need to go and take their heads for a wobble are those that say those exact phrases. Awful. But that was on the little clip from our podcast last week about Iceland and how I really upset people about the fact that I think basically you shouldn't
suggestion that the
Manx
frozen
produce.
Yeah, the suggestion that the frozen food icon doesn't like Manx food.
And equally, do you know a little bit that did wind me up on this when I saw people kicking off about it? And, you know, I do stand by, these are the same people that cry when Manx businesses go out of business. But your food is so cheap for a reason when it's there. It's probably not going to be very high quality food, and how traceable is it? So I really hope those same people aren't the ones that really care about the traceability of their food miles and how animals are killed. Because the cheaper it is, the less, care that has been put into that product. That's just a fact. It's cheap for a reason and it's not good quality.
Well, we know how they're killed. They're killed by a firing squad from the constabulary, aren't they?
Well, we wouldn't possibly know anything about that. We've not actually got in trouble over that one.
Sorry, I just want to be controversial.
That suggests that we were involved.
We were not. Just to clarify, we weren't involved. So yeah, we've upset a few people.
I was nearby on a grassy knoll.
I think just because they've been on summer holidays for so long, Tynwald members have been extra sensitive.
Oh no, don't go there.
Don't say that either.
Am I not allowed to say that?
No. Did you not hear the debate about them being on holiday?
Was that last night?
They blame the media. Yeah. Oh, she's put her foot in it again, Sam.
For God's sake, Charlie. There's a reason we're not the national broadcaster.
But there hasn't been a sitting since when?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're on holiday.
Okay, they've been on holiday from sittings.
Yeah.
From sittings, yeah, but they do other work, don't they, Sam?
Yeah, I think a couple of them were actually out doing potholes over the summer.
What, filling them with daffodils?
Oh, fuck, I didn't even mean that. Oh, Christ. We need to stop talking.
June makes it worse.
They do departmental work and stuff, like, actual work, instead of sitting around talking to each other.
Do you know what? This is why I'm so anxious all the time, because now I'm worried about upsetting people. Have I said anything today that has upset anyone?
Give it time.
Because I think if I was going to upset someone, I would really upset them. But I don't think I've tried.
That is true.
No.
But
so are we going to read some of those comments out? Because I think some of these people, we should take them to task about it.
No, I think that's a really bad idea.
Why?
Because I've got to go and I want to do some fucking news.
No, you're right.
Oh, I got called a bully. Makes them sound like a bully.
Oh. Are these the hashtag be kind people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't very kind to me.
So they've not understood the nuance of the whole satirical article.
Do you know what?
They've just taken the little bit and completely gone off topic, which shows you really how dumb society has become.
I think all we say is it was a joke, but apparently we're not allowed to have a joke anymore.
I think the thing to remember here is that the news platform is all about different content. We do loads of... You've said, how many articles did you say? I've forgotten already.
80.
80 articles. Some of them are about really serious subjects. We've covered everything from health campaigns, planning, politics, human interest stories, people raising funds for good causes, going out and doing all these things, sport. What's wrong with having a satirical item? where people can enjoy and have a bit of a giggle. And I think that's where people are losing it. They're going, oh, this is shocking journalism. What they mean is they just don't like it. It's nothing to do with being shocking journalism, is it? In reality. Welcome back to Welcome to Friday, where I've joined the gang in the studio who've been busy upsetting people all this week. But Sam has already been complaining we've been too busy talking about ourselves. So now we're going to talk a bit about the news in general. What has floated your boat this week, Sam?
Well, you're saying about important topics, and here's an interesting one this week. MHKs want to know exactly why and how Manx Care was given an extra £4 million just days after its budget was agreed. So, you go back to February, Manx Care was given a budget, which I think was 357 million. That's now become 361 because it got an extra 4.3 million, which basically the Minister, Claire Christian, the Health Minister, said that following a Treasury review of departmental budgets, the full amount requested for Manx Care mandate was not approved. However, an inflationary adjustment of £4.3 million was included in the DHSC's budget for Manx Care. So, basically, they were given the money. But the problem here is that Tynwald voted very specifically on what Manx Care's budget was, and then within a week or so when the mandate for Manx Care was published, it was not the same figure. So, the DHSC and Manx Care basically just decided that Manx Care's budget was bigger than Tynwald had agreed. And there's also £10 million of contingency funding for Treasury. So in reality, it's £14 million already over its Tynwald allocated budget for this year, before we get to the end of the year where inevitably we will be asked to stump up more money. And so Laurie Hooper, former Health Minister, of course, and Chris Thomas sort of led the charge on this one quite a bit in Tynwald this week. Laurie Hooper said about there were things that were brought up in it, saying that the part of the problems included the transfer to Manx Care of patient transfers, and he said, well, no, that was separate from the mandate. That was like very clearly that was very clearly like part of this, so you can't then claim this extra money is because of that, because it's not. And then Julie Edge as well asked for, well, what has this money actually been spent on? And the minister's like, well, we can check on that. I'm like, well, hold on. So the government has just given Manx Care £4 million to do something that Tynwald said, no, your budget is this, and they've just completely disregarded that.
And they don't know what it's being spent on, is that correct?
It was a contingency budget, but then Julie Edge asked about, well, what are we getting for this 4.3 million? Ms. Christian said that the funding bid was 357, so the 4.3 would be going towards the mandate and the operating plan. Rob Carster, another former health minister, said he was confused by this and requested a breakdown of what items were being covered by this. The minister said, we'll have to see. Speaker Juan Watson got involved and he asked for the definition of a contingency, saying it would appear that what's happened here is that the cheque's been written 9 days into the start of the year without any assurance that anything has actually happened to trigger the release of that money. So basically, and it's just astounding that they've just completely ridden over Tynwald with a budget that they knew they weren't going to have, but they knew they were going to get it. So it's like, what is the point of our annual budget? What's the entire point of any of that process? If 9 days after the budget's approved, they publish this mandate, and then by April, they're getting £4 million. You're like,
make it make sense. That's a ChatGPT make it make sense moment, isn't it?
If you put it on, I think if you ask Grok we sat there going, I have no idea.
Now, I want to cover about, I think, the win of the week so far. Kate Lord Brennan. I think it's all hail Lord Brennan. She has lobbied hard against this North and West area plan, and I think in news that shocked all of us equally. Like, I was gobsmacked that it got rejected.
I sat listening to the debate, making notes about all things, what was being said. I had to completely rewrite the piece that I wrote, as you could see when you read it at the time when it went out, because I was literally putting, we're updating this that's going along, because I was like, oh, look, I'll put the points of opposition, because they're going to vote it through anyway, so there was strong opposition, but despite that, members backed it. And then they didn't. And it was like, huh?
I was just amazed. Like, I couldn't believe it. And obviously it got through Keys, but it was the MLCs that said no.
Yeah, and we heard in the chat, so there's a couple of things that are going on behind the scenes around all this that we sort of knew about, couldn't they weren't in sort of public fields, but now they are, because it was said in Tynwald yesterday about how there's like a members briefing held on like Friday afternoon about why you should all be backing this, which is very weird to hold it that late. Or maybe Thursday or Friday afternoon, but very weird to hold a briefing that late on something that. And the Cabinet Office Minister David Ashford, who, to be fair, I think actually in his defence as well, gave a tremendous 2 speeches. His opening and his closing speeches were fantastic. Caitlin Brennan gave fantastic. There was a lot of really good actual speeches made on this.
Yeah.
So MHK passed it 13-11, and you can see the vote actually on Manx.news. We've got who voted for and against that, but then the MLCs voted it down 1-6. Only Diane Kelsey voted in favour of it. All the others, including the Bishop, voted against the plan.
But what's interesting there is that normally, if LegCo vote down something, the mover of the motion can come back next month for a combined vote, which usually gets it over the line. But in this case, they just don't have the numbers because of the numbers in the keys.
Yeah,
so even though the keys passed it, the numbers don't stack up. So it's a massive shock.
Mm. Yeah, and David Ashford has asked for that combined vote to be taken at the next sitting in November. And then...
sorry, is that because he's hoping that he might be able to change some of their minds to get it across the line?
I think ultimately what it would have lost... I have to do quick numbers now. So 4 would have been 14 against 17. So you need to change... You even need to flip 2 MHKs or 2 MLCs, I think, basically.
For the combined vote?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting where they come from if people do back it. I know there's a couple of MHKs who were quite open about being conflicted on which way to vote for it when they were speaking in the chamber. But
that's a cop-out, isn't it? That's a cop-out. Because I think they will lose all their credibility if they then change their mind at the next vote to get it through. That will look, no matter what all their high and mighty merits are, that will look smelly.
Well, the other thing is there won't be a debate on it. As I understand, you must remember this. I think it literally they will just call it and go, right, we're now having a combined vote on this. So it's a bit...
I think it's really interesting because when all the comments that came out last night, everyone was very pleased actually that it had been rejected. I didn't see one comment, maybe I didn't see them, but comments that were like, oh no, all of them I saw were like, good.
Yeah, I think the thing with an area plan is that realistically the people who are the ones who are most for it are definitely the ones who are against it, the most vocal. The ones who are for it
don't live in the area.
Well, yeah. There was actually some really good points made for it. Laurie Hooper said about that he could see why people opposed it, but he was minded to support because it would deliver tangible benefits for his constituency, including greater protection for South Beach, which is obviously that's slowly creeping back into view again, the idea of big development there. Daphne Kane spoke about it, saying planning matters are often the most divisive issues facing our community every week, neighbour against neighbour, town, villages, but the best way we can have to protect them is an area plan. So there was quite a lot made either way on it, for that. So, but ultimately it got rejected, and it'll be very interesting what comes back from it.
Yeah, I just think really, really bloody well done to Kate. I think without her lobbying, that wouldn't have happened. And yeah, I think she's done an absolutely spectacular job and really sort of earned her place there. Really, she's been fantastic.
And of course, Sam, we went up and filmed with both MHKs for the West, Kate Lord-Brennan and Tim Crookall, and then we went north and had a very fascinating interview you did with former MLC Marlene Masker and Keith Dalrymple, and they had a lot of very interesting things to say about the plan. So ultimately, it would be interesting to go back now and sort of revisit and get their reactions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely something we ought to look at. Obviously this week things are just all getting barreled into Tynwald, so it's a bit... but we definitely should go back to them on this, because I think there's it'd be interesting as well what happens next month, like you say, about the numbers, but I think there's it'd be very good to go back to some of those ones now and say, and also to get the Cabinet Office reaction, because it'd be very interesting what happens now, because the next plan is an all-Ireland plan, which you'd argue they probably should have just done that however many years ago they started this process of doing regional ones, because originally it was going to be 4, and then they combined the North for the West. So you're basically put Peel and Ramsey together for some reason in one plan.
I think that was Marlene's point, wasn't it?
Yeah, which never made any sense, really. You either should do it all Ireland or you should do 4 regions, but they went down this road. I think there's possibly an element of some people had spoken to what about they were a bit annoyed about the process that had happened to get to that stage, so it'll be interesting how that comes back.
Well, I'm actually most interested now to hear what the outcome is or will be of the minimum wage debate.
Yeah, we expect. I mean, it's while we're recording this, the members are due back in about 10 minutes as they come back from lunch to discuss whistleblowing motion that Julie Edge has brought today. And we've had things go past. There's the teachers' training for neurodivergency, which has been supported. There's been the Chief Minister has said he's minded to support a whistleblowing committee to look at how that's working. But yeah, the minimum wage is going to come up later on today, which will be should be late today. It might be tomorrow morning the way that this sitting's going. But it'll be very interesting what happens when they get to that.
Yeah, I'm really, really interested to see how many people have listened to businesses, and I suppose B, how they're going to all vote and justify it. Because I don't think it is a black and white situation actually, but it is very complex. But I'd love to see those that do vote for it, how they justify it against the concerns from businesses. And really, a lot of their voters and the general public that they could potentially be putting out of work if they pop it through.
I do sense there'll be an amendment coming.
I sense something. I will be very, very surprised if it gets voted no. That's obviously what I would love to see. But I'd be very surprised if it did. I kind of went through members and MLCs and was like, thinking which way they'll vote. Yeah.
I think they put themselves in this awkward position when they created this new system. And now it's sort of like it's paid the piper time, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is. But it was interesting because it was getting mentioned earlier today, wasn't it, when it came to the social housing. And how actually this is a bit difficult to talk about when we don't know what the answer to that is. I'm very much looking forward to being a complete nerd and listening to the whole thing.
Well, they've got a bit of a problem, haven't they, really? As an elected... I'm getting your voice now, Sam. As an elected person, to vote against a rise in the minimum wage is political suicide on the surface.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And of course, where we try to explore in the special report we did earlier this week and the interviews that we rolled out is that we get that who would not want to support a rise in the minimum wage? But that's just, again, that's a bit like these people on Facebook just picking out a headline and running with it, rather than looking at the entire, what that's going to impact. And I think that's what we explored in the doco. So that's where you're going to have problems at Tynwald. When they come to press the little red button or the green button, politically, they can go back to their constituents and go, well, of course I voted for it.
But some of their constituents are also business owners. That
yes.
they're going to put under, and then some of their constituents, if they vote it through, will also be people that are at risk of losing their jobs because they put it through.
And I know people who run small businesses who've written to their MHKs, and some of those MHKs have not even had the courtesy to acknowledge, let alone reply.
What are we paying for?
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, I just think that there's going to have to be some fudging done to get something. I mean, we've also got the other problem is that we're now the lowest paid Crown dependency, which I know it's a completely meaningless
Does that matter?
thing, really, except for the fact that we are also at risk of being overtaken by the UK on minimum wage. So I just think that,
But what is
it's going to have to go up. It's how much they put it up.
Well, yes, up with inflation is what it is. Up 9.9% to the most expensive minimum wage in Europe is criminal. That it is. I don't think anyone is disputing popping it up with inflation, but that's not what we're proposing. And equally, it begs questions if we go against the minimum wage committee that said this is not the right thing to do, and we go against the pragmatics report which said this is not the right thing to do, then why are we spending money on these things if we're just not going to listen to them?
Hundreds of businesses.
But you've also got the problem of that, and this is where this problem has come from. they hated the solution they came up with last time, so they came up with a new solution, which the Chamber of Commerce and a lot of people backed, including Tynwald. And now they're going, yeah, this new formula doesn't work. And this is where it's like, how do you get yourselves out of this one? I just think there's going to have to be an amendment that pushes this back or comes up with a different figure. And I wouldn't be amazed to see that. It may not come from a minister, but I wouldn't be amazed if it came from, let's say, an MHK, perhaps in Enterprise or Treasury or somewhere. I wouldn't be amazed if a figure came out that was lower than what is on that order paper.
Well, let's just wait and see, hey? What else has been going on? So Sam and I have upset everyone. Have you upset anyone this week?
No, but, there has been calls, of course, because of your behaviour, you pair, to have you both suspended.
Suits me.
Now,
That's
well,
fine by me.
yeah, but, I've also had representation from Tom Curfey, because if you two are suspended, he'll have nothing to write about.
Yeah, it is quite remarkable, actually, how much content we provided Tom Curfey with this week.
You're welcome, Tom, but also thank you for giving us the plug that we so desperately needed.
So in other news, though, this week, which I just want to touch on because Chris is a great supporter of ours, is that MSPCA has launched a petition calling on Tynwald to ban the use of shot collars on the island. So they are basically campaigning against them, saying that they're just cruel, basically. And they're looking for an MHK to pick up that cause as well. So far, they've got, I think it's about 650 signatures they've got to date. You can find that on Manx.news, and the petition is also on the MSPCA's Facebook page.
Are electric collars, or shot collars, whatever they're called, banned in the UK?
I think they're banned in Wales.
Right, okay.
I think there was a thing to ban them in England and Scotland, and then it got sort of lost in an election.
There's a lot of things banned in Wales.
Yeah.
Do we know how these collars work? Like what the...
Yes, we did. We did at the Royal Show.
We'll just put it in.
Yeah, we'll just play the clip in.
We're here with the Manx SPCA now, and I have agreed to something, haven't I? Do you want to explain what I've agreed to?
So in 2024, they put a lovely test out to see if the public wanted to keep electric shock collars legal on the Isle of Man. They were illegal in England, Wales and parts of Europe as of 2024, and so the Manx public, 78.6% voted to keep this a legal tool.
All right, shall I stop procrastinating now and actually do this? So, no jewellery, right, on just the hand that was zapping?
Yeah, just the hand that
Okay, just rings on this hand then, we'll get these off. Hopefully I'll put them in a pocket actually, because the wind might blow them away today. All right, I'm scared. Okay, we're starting on level one.
Don't hold it too hard. I'm going to hold this for you just in case. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, gosh, didn't even think about that actually. So just grasping it.
Just holding it, yep. So I'm going to turn it on. This is
actually
this is level one. I'm just going to do a quick beep and you can let me know how you feel.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep, no. Okay, no, that was
okay. That okay?
Yep. That was like a gentle little tickle.
Yeah.
I'm going to describe what I'm feeling.
We're going to level 2.
Oh, yep, definitely. It feels spiky. That's how I would describe it. As if there's a cactus being put on my hand or something like that. Yeah.
Level 3, you okay?
Yep, let's do level 3.
Level 3.
Oh, gosh, that felt like quite a jump.
Sting,
yep, so that went from just feeling it where it was happening to feeling like it was all over my hand, that one.
Yep.
I feel it's going to make its way all the way up my arm, isn't it? Okay,
yep,
let's do level 4. I'm getting quite nervous now. Oh, okay, yep, stinging. Yep, that one's going up towards my elbow now.
Halfway as well.
That's only halfway.
And you gradually go from
my eyes are starting to water a little bit here.
You can stop
I can still feel it after the shock as well.
Like after you've had it
for now.
Level 5.
Oh, yep. Oh, my eyes are really...
It gives a kick, doesn't it? It's
Yeah. And again, I'm obviously, if we're talking about small dog breeds as well, I'm thinking, I'm feeling this travelling pretty far up my arm now. And if you're particularly, like I said, a small dog breed, that's going to be shaking their entire body, surely.
Anyone can buy this online, and they can use it however they feel. So we can go to level 6 now.
Yep, go on then.
Okay, level 6.
Yep.
So you're feeling it further up your arm?
I'm really feeling it now. Again. Yeah. All right, 7, let's do
level 7. Okay,
I'm going to try not to swear. Oh, yeah. Okay, right, I'm going to do it. We're going to do 8.
Level 8, okay. Final level.
We might have to do it. We might have to do a bleep here. Okay, let's do it. Beep. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, not nice.
Not nice at all.
And again, like you said, I really was.
Just going to lower that down.
We were going from one level to another level. I feel like my body was kind of getting used to it as I was going along. If we'd have gone straight into 8, that would have been.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend
really
it.
Intense.
I accidentally went to level 4 myself because I was pressing the wrong button when we were testing it. And when I got to level 4, and I actually pressed the right button, I screamed at work. I dropped it. And I didn't want to have another go after that.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
It's scary.
No more. I did it for the sake of content, for the sake of awareness. Never again.
we should try it on you.
I'm sure there'll be lots of people that'd be happy to see.
Yeah,
that.
we've got Sarah Maltby's going to control the buzzer.
I think most of them would prefer a muzzle as opposed to a shot collar.
No, what I'm concerned is this could extend to the Manx Labour Party that might just completely hate me. Are you one of them?
What?
Manx Labour Party?
No, I'm not in any party.
Well, he's a lefty though.
I know
you're a lefty,
you're a
aren't you,
lefty.
Sam?
Yeah, I'm probably further left than a lot of the Manx Labour Party. I'm out there with like the Jeremy Corbyn people that sometimes.
You are a communist.
No, I'm not. It's more New Labour for me, to be honest. It's more that sort of whatever Keir Starmer's not doing.
Oh, you mean what's his name? Tony Blair.
Yeah, that's the one. That's 2 weeks in a row. Tony Blair's been doing on this podcast.
What do you make of Gordon Brown?
I can't back them.
Yeah, so final couple of things that you can find on Manx.news. There's loads. But there's also the government is monitoring the UK's proposed digital ID scheme. You can read that on Manx.news and a lot of comments on Facebook on that one. Because people are basically like,
we don't want it. This could be the repeat of the health levy. We don't want it.
It could well be, yeah. I mean, I just think, you know what, it's going that way. There was also a mention in Tynwald about Project 2030, which is a fantastic thing if you want to Google. It's a proper rabbit hole.
I'm glad you said if you want to Google. I thought you were about to make the case for it then.
No, it's just Google it and read it. It'll give you a great afternoon. So yeah, there's that going on. There's the Manx Care didn't even tell the Department of Health and Social Care they were keeping the minor
injuries unit, also known to them as commoners as Ramsey Cottage Hospital.
Yeah, they didn't tell them about how long it was being kept closed for, which led to the minister putting out a statement which was wrong, so she had to change that. Again, find that on Manx.news. Tynwald pushes pause on a plan to appoint a new non-executive director at Manx Care, who it turns out may have in fact, it was said in Tynwald was a consultant previously.
That was the one that Laurie and Claire got into a spat over, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was quite a fun one.
I would be happy to do that, but I would also just in the sense that there have been some points made here which I do think are unfounded when there's some criticisms against a CEO who perhaps has been biased in during an interview, and I think that actually should be retracted from Mr. Hooper. I also think that
I'd just like to ask the Minister to withdraw that.
Point of order, is it,
I
Mr.
never used the word bias.
You insinuated
Mr. Hooper,
that somebody.
Ms. Christian has the floor. Please resume your seat.
Order, Mr. President.
And your point of order is?
I never used the word bias. I never accused anyone of bias. The Minister was putting words in my mouth, which is not acceptable, and she should withdraw those remarks.
So the request is, first of all, to you to retract your remarks.
Mr. President, I can't retract something I didn't say. I never said the thing I'm being accused of saying. I can't retract it. That's my point.
I would like you to retract your remarks regarding the CEO.
And the request is to retract those remarks or explain.
I cannot retract something that I did not say. The answer is no. I'm sorry. I can't retract something I didn't say.
So you made no comments about the CEO?
Honourable members, it's not a debate across members here. This must come through the chair. So, Ms. Christian, do you wish to continue? Mr. Hooper has said he will not retract what he's not said. Is there a specific words?
Crikey, no. If I had Hansard in front of me,
let's
I would
be clear
repeat
about this.
Exactly what he said. But he made comments about a CEO, the CEO being in position for not very long, and I would like him to retract those comments because that is inferring something that is inaccurate. And I think unfair to an individual who's not here to defend themselves.
Just please, one moment, confirm.
Basically, what we can summarise this week in Tynwald, it's been a shitter for health, it's been a shitter for the DOI, it's been a shitter for me, and it's been a shitter for Sam.
However...
Well, I've had a great week.
So is Kate Lord-Brennan. She's had an absolute belter.
Yeah, basically. And
and
yeah.
it's been a shitter for David Ashford.
Yeah, but he comes through these things, you know.
David,
he was back up later on talking about other stuff, you know.
Man,
you know.
he's he just brushed
David's a great politician. I like the way he doesn't get flustered. He doesn't melt down because somebody's not been very nice about him. He just does it, and he's always good to interview as well.
Have you seen the meme page on Instagram's been relaunched again? Do you remember the Isle of Man meme page that was kicked off? Yeah, it's relaunched again.
Oh, brilliant!
It's back for season 2.
Ah,
brilliant.
Are you on it?
No, not yet. Give it time. No, just love it because obviously David Ashford featured heavily on it during COVID, and it was great lols.
Yeah. So other than that, what else is going on? Quick thing on sport. FC Man didn't lose at the weekend, drew 2-2. You've got.
So can I just put Charlie's face on the screen here? Because I know when you talk about football, I can. When I listen to this podcast, I can hear Charlie's face. So you talk about football, and the viewers can look at Charlie's face.
And that's basically it.
Now I'll do the opposite. I'll put Sam's face on the screen and you can talk about horses.
How did you know I was going to talk about horses?
You've got a story about Yaz.
I have got a story about Yaz. Yaz is heading to Pau this weekend. Well, she's already there in France. She's doing the 5-star on Piggy, Rehi DJ, Piglet, the pig. I actually thought her season ended at the Nations Cup like 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. But no, I saw her on the little Minx's Insta story that she's in bloody France. Yeah. So that's her final run of the season as the 5-star on Pig there. So good luck to Yasmin.
Absolutely. And so our Tynwald members are due back now, basically, to discuss a whistleblowing committee. So on that note, it's
potentially goodbye forever from me.
Do we need to say something though? If you're listening to this on +1, they will already have voted.
If you're watching this on Dave, then you can go back and get a job.
Ow. Did you see Harry Enfield's coming over?
He is coming over. I saw that.
I'm so excited.
Very excited about that.
I know someone else who's coming over. I've had a text message.
Is it Beth or Breakfast?
I don't know whether I'm allowed to say.
Is it Katie Hopkins?
No, it's not. So she's been here before. No, this is somebody else. You'll like it. Sam will probably grunt.
Is it Nige?
No, I'm not. No, I can't go into it. It's not Nigel.
Bojo?
No, Nigel's bit. No, don't go through a list of names.
Is it Bojo?
No. Don't go. Not far off. Actually,
I've got a great way to get this podcast cancelled forever, but I'm not going to say it.
Well, go on. We will be editing that out. Don't give me more today.
Who was it?
No, I'm not going to tell you.
Right, can we
I'll tell you in the green room afterwards. So we need to wrap this up now, don't we?
Yeah. I've already said I'm never coming back. I've been cancelled. In the words of Taylor Swift.
You've not been cancelled. We're not going to let the mob cancel you, Maury.
And on that note...
You're not getting out of it that easy.
And on that note, it's goodbye forever from Charlie.
It's goodbye forever from Sam.
And we just wave at the camera, don't we? Bye.
What, like the end of M.A.S.H?
M.A.S.H? She won't remember M.A.S.H.
I don't know what that
Goodbye.
That was the end of M.A.S.H, wasn't it? We just wave. So the helicopter takes off. Was that M.A.S.H?
I don't know.
Possibly. Yeah.
He's coming over.